Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is 2025, the new year, and I'm starting off this year with a book haul. So pretty much all these books I got in December. It's just like a gift towards myself for like the hard and grueling semester that I've been through. Now, let's get started. First book I'm going to be talking about is Aisha, the Wife, the Companion, the Scholar by Rizat Hailamaz. And this one basically talks about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's wife, Aisha. I just wanted to learn more about Aisha. I feel like I know bits and, some stuff about her here and there, but not really her full story, like from beginning to end. And so far, this book it doesn't really start from necessarily the beginning, but it does start from like, who she was and the type of family she came from, and then how she got married to the Prophet ﷺ, and then like the journey that she went on with him and her family too as well, and just the things that she saw whilst living with him, whilst being his wife, and the things that she observed from his other wives from like, the time period, and also just how she even lived her life after the Prophet ﷺ died. So far, very educational about her life and what she did, and how she adopted a lot of the hadiths, how she, really kept her connection with God, and especially her modesty. Like, she's really full of character. Like, she has such a character, such a big personality, and I absolutely love it. It was even really nice to see like how she and the Prophet ﷺ, like, they had their fights, like they had their disagreements and whatnot, like any other couple would, and they also had ways that they came together and solved their problems. And that was really, again, another eye-opening for me to read, because I'm like, the way I think that often I have heard the Prophet ﷺ spoken about is that like he's practically an angel, and even his wives are like spotless and whatnot. But this book, I mean, it does show their good character and good morals, but it also shows that they were human, and so they weren't not susceptible to like fighting. They weren't not susceptible to like having disagreements. Another thing that I absolutely love about Aisha too, and I'm gonna like probably like talk a lot about her, but I just love, she was definitely a girl's girl, like always looking out for the women, and not just looking out for them and like defending them, especially when they do wrong. Like, no, she will correct a woman if she's doing wrong and be like, hey, this isn't right, like, this isn't right, I know this isn't right. And she would also like uplift them, especially like when it came to like marriage issues or divorce issues or being single or whatnot. She'd always offer just sound advice, and the advice would obviously stem from the Prophet ﷺ, because he's receiving revelation from God and whatnot, and she's his wife, so she would like consult him too, and he would tell her and whatnot. And it was just so nice to see like her like being so active, like especially amongst women, and trying to help other women be the best women that they can be and whatnot, and advising them. So I love that. So the next book that I have, I've been waiting to buy this book for so long, and I've been like because you already know I love Nana. I absolutely love Nana, and I haven't read Neighborhood Stories. That's another book by Ayazawa, Neighborhood Stories. I have watched Paradise Kiss. I haven't read the manga, but this one I want to read the manga. I think there's an adaptation of this manga series, but it doesn't, or the last time I checked it, I think it didn't have like too good of a rating, so I don't know. But I'm starting with the manga, and that is again by Ayazawa, but this one is called Last Quarter. And oh my gosh, it's definitely not like, it's completely different from her other like 3 manga series that she's written, like completely different. I thought this was gonna be another girl in love with a guy, and he's kind of a bit off and whatnot. And I mean, in some ways it does start out like this, but it takes a completely different turn, which I do not want to say because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants to read it. But oh my gosh, it has been so good. Like, it's been so good. The turn that it takes, it's like so good, at least to me, and it just feels so much more engaging. And I think another reason why I enjoy it so much is, again, it's not like her other stories where they're kind of like more based on reality and whatnot, and just the drama of life and love and friendship and that kind of thing, and like pursuing your career. This one is like completely different. Like, it takes a completely different turn. It's more, it dabbles into like the supernatural, dabbles into like ghosts and whatnot. So again, it starts off as like like a girl and a guy, they're in love and whatnot, but then like, again, it takes a completely different turn, and again, I love it, and I cannot wait. And I'm so glad it's like only 3 volumes, and they're pretty big too, so like I got a lot of content to get through, and so I am just taking my sweet old time just reading this and enjoying it. I can't wait, because I think the second volume that in English is coming out in January, so you already know I'm about to buy it. I'm literally about to like just be online, boop, buy it, ship it right now. Can we just appreciate the cover? Like, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Like, look at that. Like, look at that. Like she beauty, like absolute beauty. So the next book that I will be talking about is a autobiography by a mental health professional that I actually follow on Instagram, and I'm absolutely a fan of her. I'm always like liking her posts and whatnot and bombarding her with like, you know, just comments and whatnot because I genuinely love her content. I feel like her content is so relatable, especially if you're like, you know, either like an eldest daughter or if you're like a child of an immigrant or an immigrant yourself, a woman of color, Muslim. Her account is just so positive and uplifting, and she includes so many good like just mental health advice and tidbits on how to, you know, get through either like your trauma or take care of yourself, and just in the whole like anything related to mental health. She's like an absolute expert at it. And so I decided to pick up her autobiography that she wrote, and it's called The Shadow of My Soul, a mental health professional's journey to overcome narcissistic abuse, depression, CPTSD, anxiety, and intergenerational trauma while growing up as an immigrant. Look at this cover. Stunning, beautiful art. I'll read the synopsis like on the back. Jang Min knew trauma at an early age. As a member of a family of 6 that had fled Albania, she endured numerous hardships as a young girl. She sacrificed her youth for a better future. The weight on her shoulders became stronger until she hit rock bottom. Life became a hell, and she couldn't find a way how to escape from abuse. It took her blood, sweat, and tears to finally make it to a better place and start the healing process. No matter what pain you're going through, this story serves as a shining light that can lead you out of the darkness. In this book, she uses her voice that was silenced for so many years. Join the author as she shares how she confronted her trauma and broke this toxic cycle while healing from generational trauma. I love all of that. As someone who's like, you know, a major in psych and wants to, you know, get into the psych field, absolutely love this. So I haven't started reading this. I'm definitely going to read this. There's just so many books that I need to read, but this one is definitely on my list of this year to read. It's also really nice to just read a book or just read other people's stories and to know that you're not alone, and to know that there's other people who are also facing anxiety or depression or PTSD, or who have also been under, you know, narcissistic abuse. So it's really enlightening to see other people, you know, write about their story and share how they overcome it, because it just, you know, encourages others who are also going through the same thing or who know of someone who's going through the same thing to like, you know, help them and give them motivation and just the strength to be able to manage through all of it and to get out of it and heal through it. So yeah, I'm so excited to read it. He also has a YouTube channel, which I will link down below, or maybe up. Can I do that? I don't know, I'll figure it out, but I'll put it somewhere, either in the video or in the description box. Her Instagram and her YouTube channel, you should definitely check out. The next couple of books I have are manga series, and I'll have to explain the last one because I made a huge mistake with that one. But the first manga series I'm going to talk about is Pup Opposites Attract. Oh my gosh, this was the one I talked about in my other video of worst and best books of 2024. I find so similar to was it Love for a Walk or Love for a Walk? It's a webtoon. Basically about 2 people, they're both dog lovers, they fall in love. Well, here's another one. 2 people, dog lovers, falling in love. I mean, they haven't really like reached the point where they're like, you know, together, but the first volume, so I got both the first volume, second volume, because that's what's out. The third volume, I don't know when that's gonna come out, but these 2 were so good. It was so cozy. It was such a cute read. The book is basically about Chiharu, who's the main female lead, and then Kiyotaka. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Kiyotaka. And they basically, you know, they both have their dogs, and when they first meet, they both have like their own kind of suspicion and fear of each other. Like, she's looking at him thinking, whoa, he's kind of scary, and he's looking at her thinking, whoa, her dog is scary. Once they start speaking to each other, they start to understand each other more, and it is just so cute to see them slowly like get close and close. And then there's other characters that come into and like, you know, kind of make the story more like elaborate and whatnot, and I love it so much, and it was, again, such a cozy read, a fun read. It's a very short, I mean, it's only 2 volumes, at least for now. I love the first volume, I love the second volume. It was so nice to read. It's similar to Love for a Walk, because again, it's like it has the 2 dog lovers falling in love, but it's definitely different in terms of how like the story is taken. Like Love for a Walk, like there's a lot more, I feel like, drama in that, but this one, not too much like real heavy drama. It's like little dramas here and there that happen, but other than that, it's like a really chill, relaxing read. So cute. No, hold on, you gotta appreciate the cover. Yeah, cute, right? Okay, now we gotta appreciate the second cover. Right? Cute, right? Yeah, okay, thanks. So finally, okay, so basically I started watching Slam Dunk last year, and it was the best anime, the best sports anime I've ever watched. That show gave me so much serotonin. Like every time I watch that show, I could be in whatever mood. Like I could be sad, moody, upset about whatever, and I watch that show, it just like smacks literally it like smacks away whatever I was feeling at that moment, and just I feel such a array of just good, like pure, funny, warm energy hit me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, give me more. Like it is just so good. So but unfortunately the anime, it like stops at a point where it's like they're about to like do something like big. I'm not even explaining what the story's about, but basically Slam Dunk, it's this guy named Sakuragi-kun, so cute, and he hates basketball. He absolutely hates it because there was this one girl he was into, but she rejected him because she wanted to be with this basketball player. So ever since then, he's like hated basketball. That is until Haruko-chan, she comes up to me and she's like, oh my gosh, you look like you could be a basketball player. He immediately falls for her because she's exactly his type, and he's like, yeah, I'm a basketball player, yeah. You know, so that is how he gets looped into the basketball world, and it is just so funny, so cute. I mean, it is so amazing. Again, this show is like full of serotonin, like absolute just happiness and funny, and it has its serious moments too, which really get to you. And so again, my only like complaint with the anime was that like where it stopped, like there was like it stopped at like a pivotal moment where like they're about to do like something big and huge, and so I was like, you know what, I have to continue on. Like I don't want to just stop here and just that's it, because it can't be the end. I had to pick up the manga of Slam Dunk so I can continue on reading it, enjoying just the story. Here's where I made the big mistake. So I don't know whether it was a stress of like just school and, you know, also doing like, you know, getting into like a new job and whatnot. I don't know what it was, but I got 4 volumes. So I got volume 9, 10, 11, and 12, thinking that, oh, this is where it would pick up from the anime, like, you know, from where I ended, jumping into it, like this is where it is. No, this is not where I was supposed to be. I wouldn't say I wasted money, because I mean, technically, I wanted to collect it anyway, so it's not a waste. So I'm still grateful, you know, alhamdulillah, that at least I have this. But it was not the like manga set or the manga volumes I was supposed to pick up. I was supposed to start from volume 23, and it made so much more sense because there's like a huge distinct difference between Sakuragi-kun in like volume 9 and like volume 23. And like I was reading volume 9, I'm like, I think I saw this in the anime. And as I'm reading more, I'm like, this is literally the anime, and not even like leading into like the part where it stopped and like, you know, continuing on. This is like in the anime, like bit by bit, which is really nice, but devastating for me because that's not what I wanted. I wanted to continue after where the anime stopped. Anyways, I just needed to rant about that because I was like so baffled. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'll still collect on from 23 moving forward, and it stops at I think 31. 31 is the last volume of Slam Dunk, so I'm like, you know what, might as well, there's not a lot to collect. So yeah, that was my huge mistake that I made when collecting Slam Dunk. But anyways, starting from volume 23, it is so good. It is exactly like the anime, like just the vibes and everything. Like again, I mean, I can even tell from like volume 9, it was like pretty much everything that happened in the anime was, I was seeing it on paper. But it was just nice to also like start from here where I was actually supposed to start and see that again it continues on with like, you know, the art style and just the way the characters interact with each other and whatnot. And I'm just really glad that I got this, and you know, hopefully like in the next couple of months or whatnot, I can pick up the rest of the volumes and continue on this story, because it is just so good. Again, full of serotonin. I was laughing. I was just like, you know, happy to see the boys and happy to see the team and whatnot and them playing, and it is so good. It is the, like, seriously the best sports anime. That is it for this book haul. If there are any books that you have picked up in the month of December or planning to in the month of January, please let me know. Also let me know what books that you are anticipating to read in 2025. There's so many good books that are coming out, so many good manga, books, anime, Sakamoto Days. I think by the time I post this, it would already be out. Or yeah, it'll probably already be out. You already know I'm watching it. Yeah, I'm already like going to be watching it. And yeah, I can't wait for that. That is like the biggest like show that I'm waiting for of this year is Sakamoto Days. Like, oh my gosh, I can't remember when I was talking about it and raving about it. Wait for that. And there's so many other good animes, especially April. April's gonna be a crazy month for anime, so yeah. But that's it for this video, and until next time, bye bye.